experiencing neck tension, upper back tension, perhaps a dysregulated nervous system, or even lymphatic issues on one side of your body or the other? Well, if so, please stay tuned for this amazing technique. Hi, my name is Dr. Ariane Missimer. I'm a doctor of physical therapy, registered dietitian, functional medicine practitioner, and I love talking about the nervous system. So today we are going to dive into a really unique technique to help to downregulate the sympathetic nervous system and upregulate the parasympathetic nervous system, or rest and digest state. So we're going to address the stellate ganglion in this particular technique. So the stellate ganglion is a nerve bundle that is part of the sympathetic nervous system that is located right next to the first rib, which is actually right underneath of the collarbone here. And so we are going to create a inhibition of this sympathetic ganglion, again, a bundle of nerves that are part of this system. We're going to create an inhibition so that we can create a relaxation response. We're essentially down regulating or turning the volume down on our fight or flight system. Before performing this technique, you do want to make sure that you consult with a medical professional if you have any questions if this technique is appropriate for you. So if, for example, you have any heart conditions, vascular conditions, I would recommend consulting with your medical provider before exploring this. So to perform the technique, you are going to essentially come where most of us are really tight in our trapezius muscle. So most of the time we can feel that tissue. So think of it that it's coming back from here and we dig in. When we say our neck is tight, oftentimes it's that trapezius muscle. So when you're feeling with your fingertips, you can feel how as you come forward, you're feeling the border of that muscle. So as you come kind of over top of it, you can actually feel the inside of that muscle. Okay, so what I want you to try to do first is just find that anatomy on yourself. So you're finding that muscle and you're coming towards the front of your body with your fingertips and you're going to start to sink down a little bit. And so when you get there, you're actually going to sink down into the first rib, which is going around. So it's starting from the front, right, going around. And so when you sink down, you're going to come a little bit forward from that and you're sinking down into that tissue. It may feel a little bit sore here, so that's okay. And what we're doing is we're going to sink down and hold that not aggressively, just intentionally for about 90 seconds. So I'm just going to talk while we're holding here. And what we're doing is creating this inhibition of this sympathetic ganglion. So essentially what we're doing is kind of turning that volume down. What we can experience initially, I do want to acknowledge, is that we can have a very temporary increase in a sympathetic response, meaning we could feel a little bit anxious or we could feel wired for, about 30 seconds or so. And then typically that response can start to decrease once we downregulate the HPA, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. But you can have an initial stress response. So just know that that is a possibility. So then as we've been holding longer, I just noticed a nice swallow. So I'm going to gently release. And what we can see here is that as time goes on, you can have a calmer and calmer response in your body. So that could look like a sigh, a swallow, or yawn. It could just feel like you feel more calm, you feel more relaxed, you feel centered. So all of these things are possibilities. So this is a really great technique to balance out the nervous system. So oftentimes if you are trying a exercise that is promoting a parasympathetic response, something like diaphragmatic breathing or a lot of my vagus nerve hacks I have on the channel, some of these, the intention is to downregulate and to create this relaxation response. However, sometimes if we are really, really wired, right, and we're really in that fight-flight response, then sometimes it's a great technique or intention is to downregulate the sympathetic so that we can perform some of these parasympathetic activities. So it can help to balance out parasympathetic and sympathetic. It can also help improve blood and lymph flow. We have so much lymph that is passing through here, coming from our neck and face, and then it's coming down through this clavicular area. So this is our subclavian veins, which subclavian veins are ultimately going to go back to the heart. So much lymph that's happening here. So we can actually create quite a bit of improved lymphatics, especially so if you're having any kind of nerve issue, swelling issue, you're having thoracic outlet, any of these types of symptoms, you can do this on either side. This technique can also help release some of the tone of the thoracic spine, again, creating that that down regulation. So it's a great technique to explore. Again, if you have any concerns, please check with your medical provider. And if this was helpful, give it a like, give it a share. I'd love to hear your comments as always. Make sure to check out all of our other vagus and somatic exercises so you can continue to regulate your nervous system and be the best version of yourself. If you need help on your journey, please reach out. We would love the opportunity to assist you. And you can also join our app, The Movement Paradigm, on Google or Apple. Join our community and really begin to take ownership of your health. Thank you. Until next time.